Welcome to the Tisch WNET studio here in New York City. It is our honor, once again, by popular demand, we have her back, Maria Bartiromo. She's the anchor of Mornings with Maria on Fox Business Network and also the anchor of Sunday Morning Futures on the Fox News Channel. Sundays, what time?
10 a.m.
And every morning during the week?
Every morning on Fox Business Network, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern.
I was checking you out this morning.
Getting up early these days.
Getting up early. By the way, tell everyone again, by the way, everyone sees Maria in every one of our opens, right? How early is the morning?
Well, I get up every day at 3:30 in the morning because I'm live at 6 o'clock in the morning from our studios in New York. So it's just a little prep before then. So I don't mind it. I love my schedule, by the way, and I love my show.
Love?
I'm having the best time. Love.
Okay, so we are taping this toward the end of 2016 as we go into the holidays. So it'll be seen after into 2017. I'm watching this morning on Mornings with Maria. You have this great cast of folks on. And just today, I know we'll date ourselves, but this is relevant. Donald Trump tweeted. Are you shocked?
No.
Okay, so he happened to tweet about the Boeing thing and, you know, the price. Hey, listen, this is too much money.
Right.
And I heard you talking about it, and the stock price dipped for Boeing and came back up. You are a fan. Are you in favor of him expressing his views about these kinds of things in the marketplace?
Well, I don't know about that. I think they're
You think it's okay?
Well, it depends.
I'll let you say.
If he is going to start targeting individual companies by name and moving their stock prices, no, I don't think it's okay.
That's not good.
No, I don't think it's good. Having said that, I think he's using this Twitter as an opportunity to sort of send messages out. And I think that was what he did with Boeing. Basically, don't try to take advantage of the U.S. government and charge $4 billion for Air Force One. I know how much planes cost. We'll cancel the order. But frankly, it's going to be hard to cancel the order. Who are you going to get to make your planes? Airbus, which is a European jet maker? I don't think so. So, look, I think he's putting messages out there that he's looking at the numbers. He's counting the numbers. He's there. Don't try to take advantage of anybody here because he's the new sheriff in town.
You know, watching you during the campaign, I mean, you moderated 2
That's right.
debates. You were right in the middle of this. What would you say, Maria, the most significant lesson you took away and you believe the country should take away from this historic election?
Well, I think that this election was about the working man and woman. And I think virtually everybody in the media missed that. I don't think we missed it. I mean, Fox Business Network always took Donald Trump seriously. And I did, up until the end, know that he had a real shot. And the reason that I knew he had a real shot is because when I would go to West Hampton, where I go on the weekends, all of the small business people that I would run into, I'm talking about the bagel shop owner, the restaurant owner, the farmer's market guy with the stand, all said the same thing to me, and that was, Maria, Trump economics, we need Trump. We got to get Trump in there. He's going to make our lives better. And I kept saying to myself, wow, this is not being polled. Small business was desperate for Donald Trump economics, desperate. And I think the other side, Hillary Clinton, did not have a plan. And so when you consider the fact that Donald Trump had specific ideas, I'm going to lower taxes, I'm going to roll back regulations, I'm going to redo trade deals that don't make sense, that resonated with people who haven't seen their salaries move in 20 years, who haven't seen the opportunities that the rich have seen in the last 10 years. And they were sick of it. And they said, you know what, media, I'm pushing back on you because you're not telling me the truth. I'm going to make my own decision. So I think the lesson from this election is listen to the people. Don't make an assumption that you know better. And I think this really was about the working man and woman, that person who feels that they've been forgotten. You know, the stock market has been going up, and so
as we speak,
and so the rich are making money, and you see all these opportunities, and you see the headlines in terms of the economy getting better, and yet the average guy and gal out there, the average family, is not seeing it. They're not seeing their wages move. Wages are down in the last 20 years. They're not seeing the kinds of opportunities that were promised to them as a result of globalization, because globalization, frankly, did not work for them.
But, Maria, let me ask you this. As a student of leadership, I asked you last time you were here in preparation for the book that I was writing, Lessons in Leadership, your #1 leadership lesson. And I wrote about Trump and Hillary Clinton and my perception of their leadership styles. This was before the outcome of the election. I want to ask you about Trump's leadership style, combined with his communication style. Today, I argue, and it's not about in public television, we don't express our opinion, but I do think about discipline, the need to be a disciplined communicator in such a powerful position. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that's a really
well.
important point that you raise, and discipline is very important. On the other hand, Donald Trump says things that a lot of people are thinking, and he's honest. And the fact that he says things that somebody might be thinking, that tells that person, you know what? He's telling me the truth.
Excuse me for interrupting. Even if there are questions about the facts in those statements being accurate?
Well, let's talk about which facts you're referring to.
Okay, so.
Because, I mean, you can't say...
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's totally fair what you just said. So just go back, and I don't want to take things out of context. Totally, he wins the election and moving on. And for those of us who, whether you voted for him or didn't, you want him to succeed because you want the country to succeed. But when he turns around and says, you know, listen, by the way, I won the popular vote, and the millions of people who voted, they weren't even legal. And for some people, they say, wait a minute, I wanted to move on with him, whether I voted for him or not. But there's no fact behind that. Oh, a lot of people are thinking it anyway. I would argue that there's a question of discipline and being factual and being able to back that up. Your thoughts?
There is a feeling that illegals voted in this election. We have not seen the numbers. We need to see the evidence. I completely agree on that. Donald Trump should have supported what he said with some evidence. However, there is real concern about voter fraud and that people are playing with the machines. I mean, we had a woman on my show a couple of weeks ago, and she said that she went to the voting booth in Texas. She voted Republican all the way straight down the line. Her voting stub came out, and it said everybody Republican except Hillary Clinton. Her vote was changed to Hillary Clinton from Donald Trump. This is a woman who came on the show from Texas. Now, I'm not saying that I have any evidence that there was illegality in this election, but this is not a new concern. People do worry that illegals voted.
So interesting, no, but he goes by his instincts. And
yes, he does.
You feel the country, a significant portion of the country is wanting that.
Well, they want change, Steve. I think that
from everything before it.
Right. And they don't want a politician who's been in the job 30 years that hasn't done anything for them. They don't want to feel like, okay, this is going to be more of the same. And I don't think this is Republican or Democrat.
Right.
This is throw the bums out. Let's start again. Let's try to look at this government that we have and try to make sure that everybody is really being represented. And I think they just wanted change. I don't think any of those 16 candidates on stage could have beaten Hillary Clinton.
Say that again?
The 16 candidates who Donald Trump beat on the Republican...
Tremendous accomplishment.
Okay, I mean, he beat all those 16 people. That was
some major players.
Right. Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, Governor Huckabee, et cetera. I don't think any of those people could have beaten Hillary Clinton because it wasn't about Republican versus Democrat. It was about change. Here comes this bombastic guy from Queens, New York, who's leading by instinct. And for a majority of people, they said, you know what? This is the guy to shake things up. I don't know if he's going to lead the country better than what we've seen in the last 8 years, but I'm willing to take a bet. I'm willing to take a bet on change because so far it's just not working for me. The other thing is the media. I mean, the media really
what did we get wrong?
Well, the media let everybody down. I mean, let's face it, Steve. You've got an election here, Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, and all we heard every day is how bad Donald Trump is. And meanwhile, Hillary Clinton was under federal investigation. She was under FBI investigation.
I'm sorry for interrupting. You're saying we did not focus enough on the emails or the investigation?
If the Clinton Foundation is under federal investigation, there could be something there. The FBI is investigating it. And the fact that there were certain situations where the U.S. has pushed back in terms of selling uranium to the Russians for a long time. And so then Hillary Clinton is Secretary of State. She sells 20% of the uranium that the U.S. has in its stockpile to the Russians. And just a few weeks later, she gets $140 million into her Clinton Foundation. There are other stories like that. The Prime Minister of Qatar, the Qataris, giving Bill Clinton $1 million gift. None of this stuff was reported.
Why do you think we didn't focus enough on that?
Because the media was all in for Hillary Clinton.
All in?
Is that not true?
You believe the vast majority of most folks on the media side very much wanted her to win, and that reflected the coverage?
100%.
Did that also, in your view, jade many of us in terms of thinking he couldn't win?
Yeah. And meanwhile, the polls show that he was very close time and time again. But the polls that you saw on TV, the polls that you saw in the newspapers were all in for Hillary. The Washington Post, they announced that they were putting 20 reporters on Donald Trump. And they said, it's our duty to the country to find out every little thing about him. 20 reporters.
What did they have on Clinton?
None. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that enraged the electorate. It enraged people, and it brought them out to vote.
Was it a rejection of the media as well?
100%. It was a rejection of the establishment, the elitists, the people who have been in power for 30 years, and it was also a repudiation against the media, saying, we don't believe you. We're not going to listen anymore.
Maria, you have this unique, fascinating perspective on business in a way that most don't. The Trump business and the government piece, keeping them separate, not keeping them separate. We don't know how it's going to play out. What do you think is the best way to go for him and the country?
Well, this could be a real blind spot for him, and he needs to be careful on this because he could make mistakes here. And the reason that I say that is because we just saw what happened with the Clinton Foundation and her business and government. And so you can't have a toll that you want to see the Secretary of State, but first you're going to have to give the Clinton Foundation money. That's what I'm talking about in terms of the Trump Foundation and Trump's businesses. So, look, it's unrealistic to believe he's going to put everything in a blind trust.
Can't happen?
I don't think so, because his kids are running the business.
That's not blind.
It's not blind, and it's, you know, you would put them out of a job and you would change their lives forever. So, I mean, he built this company, so I don't think that that's realistic. That would be what you would like to see, a blind trust. But he says he's going to make sure that there is a serious separation here. He's not going to be having conversations about his kids' business and, you know, how it relates to what he's doing in government. So we'll see. But it's definitely something that he needs to watch, because he cannot have any appearance of conflict of interest. We will see.
And you'll be covering that on a regular basis. By the way, I have to tell you, when I was watching the Al Smith dinner, you're laughing right away. I was half the time I was watching you sitting behind the speakers, including Clinton and Trump. Your reaction was priceless. Were you tweeting during it?
Well, initially, I didn't realize I was on camera, so yes. But then I realized, and I just tried to be still. But yeah, I tweeted. No, not tweeted. I texted somebody.
It was priceless. I just needed to tell you that.
Thank you.
I found that.
That was a lot of fun.
I forgot to mention this before. Maria is also the global markets editor and the anchor of Mornings with Maria on Fox News, 6 to 9?
6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, Fox Business Network.
3:30 a.m.?
You got it.
She gets up. And also Sunday mornings, check it out. Sunday morning futures on Fox News Channel with Maria every Sunday. Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Steve. Good to see you.
We're honored that we also have you in our Open every time.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you, Maria.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, Bergen Community College, New Jersey Council of County Colleges, Wells Fargo, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, the Russell Berry Foundation, and by NJM. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.